I'm a Gen Z stan, I think. I got to say it. I love Gen Z right now. They're just feisty. They're very feisty right now. And to see the way they are reacting to people trying to censor their speech, this is incredible. This is amazing. And you're going to have to park aside your feelings about China. Obviously, I agree with the fact that China is a threat, but I also kind of think America and our deep state and the CIA is the bigger threat. The homeland threat seems a little bit bigger, the domestic threat, than the foreign threat at this moment. Okay, so what am I speaking about? So there is, let me just show you this headline on NBC. Chinese TikTok alternative RedNote tops app charts ahead of potential TikTok ban. Okay. So just to be clear, the number one most downloaded app right now in the App Store is RedNote. RedNote. It's in Mandarin. They can't even read it, and they're all downloading it. So I'm going to give you the backstory of the TikTok ban. Initially, when Trump got into office, he essentially was very tough on China. And in 2020, he said, we've got to do something about China. They're stealing all of our data. You know, he was doing the America first. We're also going to be tough on tariffs, et cetera, et cetera. And in August of 2020, he tried to ban TikTok via executive order. And it didn't work. There was tons of resistance, people saying that it would be a violation of free speech. This can't happen, blah, 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 blah. Then, of course, October 7th happened, and TikTok was incredibly pro-Palestine, okay, to the point that they began censoring the word Palestine, and the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which is really just the Anti-Free Speech League, and the Smear and the Slander League, decided that they needed to now step in. Forget you thinking your president has power. We, the ADL, our lobby, AIPAC, we're going to get this done now because we don't like that Gen Z is anti-Israel.
But I also want to point out that we have a major generational problem. And so we really have a TikTok problem, a Gen Z problem.
And then the kids got smart and started using watermelons instead of, because they couldn't say Palestine or get any views and things were getting banned, started using watermelon signs, okay? But then very quickly, Congress passed an act. Like I said, forget the president in 2020. They were like, oh, yes, no, TikTok must immediately be banned. Now we got to get rid of this or it must sell. And that date is now coming up. And so the TikTokers are going, we are not with this. You are not going to censor our speech. We are not okay with you selling it to somebody that's going to censor our speech. And so what they have started doing is downloading RedNote. And basically, this is just China's TikTok.
So really quick, the app that they're referring to, I think is getting confused with another app based on other videos. And this app, what folks are calling RedNote, is similar to Instagram, not a replica of TikTok. So the aesthetic, the visuals are going to be there in the same way as Instagram is. You don't come out on Instagram any kind of way if you really want to get viral. You have to have your aesthetic up to par. But then there's a lot of additions added on where it's like a mix up of Instagram and Tumblr and like maybe a little smidget of TikTok and things.
I don't know where y'all Americans are getting the information that Xiaohongshu RedNote translated is basically the Chinese version of TikTok. It's not. Xiaohongshu is basically Chinese Instagram, but like more advanced. Google it if you don't believe me. Douyin is the Chinese version of TikTok. You need to set your VPN to China and have a Chinese phone number to access Douyin.
Up on that app, guys. Like, I have never seen so many beautiful people in my life. Every time I scroll, it's the Chinese version of Angelina Jolie, Nia Long, Henry Cavill, Aaron Pierre, Beyonce. I'm not exaggerating. These people are the most beautiful people I've ever seen, like as a whole, from just casually swiping. I'm like, I didn't even know, like, this is going to sound so ignorant. I didn't even know. Obviously, there's a billion Chinese people. Obviously, people are beautiful everywhere. But my mind is blown with, they are eating us up. Like, Chinese people are not coming on their app like we come on TikTok looking disheveled and crust in your eye and stank breath. They're not doing that. So kudos to y'all. Y'all can gorgeous over there.
A lot of American TikTokers are expressing that they're really happy with the app. They feel welcomed. And then there are some that say they're not interested in even looking at that app. And many are voicing concerns over either the terms or conditions, which we'll talk about later, or the data that they'll be inputting. And it's not just that app, but all of the social media apps. There's more concern being raised about it. So they're not interested in moving forward. Then there's a few others who are simply just not into learning Chinese, and there are others that really would like to learn and embrace the app and the culture. So people really have mixed feelings. A lot of what you'll see is people being really gung-ho about using the app, learning the language, but there are some people that say, hey, we don't like it, everything's in Chinese, we're not going to do it. And there's also the comments from those that do use the app in China where they're saying Americans really are not going to last long on this app. Another quick thing to point out, while there are many welcoming the American TikTokers to these Chinese apps, there are some, expressing concern about all of these American TikTokers coming over to their apps and Americanizing it, pushing their own culture or Western culture, and also changing the app and not for the better. Check out these videos.
So pay attention, TikTok refugees. Here's some things you need to know about this app if you're gonna stay for like 2 or 3 days or like a month or something. First, yes, we can be fam in the club. Nobody's trying to start a war here, even though you show up in my living room without any invitation. But Chinese people still welcome all of you. Why? Because we're just that great, okay? There's a saying in Chinese, in ancient Chinese, 有朋自远方来，不亦乐乎. I'm not gonna translate that for you. Why? Because it's finally your time to learn something Chinese. Second, as you can see, all the content on this app is very high quality. People put a lot of effort in their content. So if you're gonna post here and if you want likes, if you even care about that, please add some subtitles. That's the bare minimum standard for your videos, for your content. And since you're in the Chinese community, please put some Chinese subtitles to it. There's some app that can help you. A lot of Chinese people can understand your no subtitle pure English video is because we're smart. Okay, we started to learn English at a very young age, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't add Chinese subtitles to your video if you're gonna post in the Chinese community. This is not me saying it's not okay to post English videos, okay? A lot of people do, I do, but the point is, this is a Chinese-based community. You need to add Chinese subtitles to your video, show some respect, and also you can help other people learn English. Isn't that great? RedNote, after all that, it's still fine. Just add Chinese subtitles to your videos. Also, one more thing. This person, whatever you were trying to say, trust me, 为难我 is not the right term, okay? Delete that translation app. Delete that right now. I'm not gonna 为难你, and I believe you don't want me to 为难 you, okay?
I'm actually terrified of this. I don't want everyone on TikTok to move onto this Xiaohongshu app, and this is why. Some people are calling it RedNote, and it actually translates to Little Red Book. I just feel the xenophobia coming, and I'm not trying to gatekeep this app, but it's not good that most of TikTokers, American TikTokers, are moving on to Xiaohongshu. I don't know if you heard about it, but Xiaohongshu is getting really popular, and they're thinking about changing their IP, separating mainland China from the US, which means that Chinese Americans won't have access to Chinese content. This is sad and hurts me in a lot of ways because I've been using Xiaohongshu for 3 years now, and I use it a lot for inspiration and to share my culture in the brand. Like, that's my creative outlet. I'm on Xiaohongshu at least 2 hours a day almost. I use it to learn, to find cute makeup, to find cute outfits. There's so much inspiration on there. And I love sharing culture. That's what our brand is for. The hundreds of thousands of Americans that are going on there and changing the Chinese content into more Americanized content feels really wrong. It feels like it's trying to Americanize Xiaohongshu, which the point of Xiaohongshu was so that we can get more into Chinese culture. I don't know, it feels really sad. I just hope that the Xiaohongshu algorithm doesn't change. And if you're watching this video, you're most likely not the problem because you're my audience. But without Xiaohongshu, it will look a lot different for the Chinese American community. I want to be able to take the inspiration on there and share it with you guys, but I'm not for
all Americans going on there and putting their Western views onto Xiaohongshu. I'm just a little sad over it because I just hope that Xiaohongshu is not the place where all Americans are going and changing it up.
I'm not going over to RedNote. I'm not going to RedNote. It just don't feel right. Does it feel right to y'all? It don't feel right to me. I know we're all in our hate phase, and rightfully so, but I don't think flooding the RedNote is the right thing to do. I get it. A lot of people just doing it to get their bag off, or just to build up a community in which they feel like they're losing. It's perfectly valid. I understand. But for me, nah, I don't do things in spite. I do things despite. Even though I've made a little bit of money off this app, and it's been fun. It's genuinely been fun. It's been a great experience. Once this app is gone, that's the end of me, content creation wise. I don't think I'll ever make content again. A lot of people argue I don't even make great content, and I won't even fight you on that. But it's just weird. The RedNote app is already talking about changing how they run their servers and stuff like that, and separating pretty much America from China. And that already feels like it's wrong. They're definitely not doing that because they want us to be on the app. They don't want our influence, and that's perfectly fine. But for the people that use that app, the Chinese Americans that use that app to connect back to their homeland, or whatever you really want to call it, connect back to their culture, that's for them. It's not for just us Americans who want to put our face on everything and talk about everything.
I'm not going to RedNote. RedNote is a Chinese app with servers in China. To sign up for the app, you have to give up your phone number. The Chinese already have my phone number, and that's why I'd be receiving a lot of scam texts and call from them every freaking day. I'm not going to RedNote. I'm not going to Facebook either. I'm going to delete my Facebook and Instagram. I'll wait for something else. I'll wait. In the meantime, you can catch me on YouTube.